His fingers were too long when he wrote on the board. I noticed it on the first day, but I told myself I was imagining things. Welcome to Tales by Talani. I'm a third-year student at the University of Lagos. My name is Chidi, and I study computer science. This happened last semester during our database management course. We had a new lecturer, Mr. Okonkwo. He came to replace Dr. Adeyemi, who had retired. The first weird thing was his skin. It looked normal from far away, but up close it seemed too smooth, like plastic, like a mask. Mr. Okonkwo walked into the lecture hall at exactly 8 a.m., not 7:59, not 8:01, exactly 8 a.m. "Good morning, class," he said. His voice was flat, no accent, no emotion. We all mumbled good morning back. There were about 70 of us in the hall. He wrote his name on the board. His arm stretched longer than it should have. I blinked. Maybe I was tired. I had stayed up late the night before studying. "I will be teaching you database management for the rest of the semester," he said. "I expect complete attention during my classes." Something about the way he said complete attention made my skin crawl. Mr. Okonkwo wrote 5 rules on the board. No phones during class, no sleeping, no leaving before class ends, no talking, no staring. I raised my hand. "Sir, what do you mean by no staring?" He turned to look at me. His eyes were black, completely black, no white parts at all. "Do not stare at me for too long," he said. "It is disrespectful." My friend Amaka, who sat next to me, grabbed my arm. Her hand was shaking. "Did you see his eyes?" she whispered. I nodded. The lecture itself was normal. He taught us about database normalization. He explained things clearly. His handwriting was perfect. Too perfect. Every letter was exactly the same size. But something felt wrong the entire time. The air in the room felt heavy. Several students kept yawning even though it was morning. I felt sleepy too, but I remembered rule number 2. No sleeping. At the back of the class, I heard a soft snoring sound. A boy named Tunde had fallen asleep. Mr. Okonkwo stopped talking. He didn't turn around. He just stopped. The student in the back row, third seat from the left. "Wake up." How did he know exactly where Tunde was sitting without looking? Tunde's friend shook him awake. Tunde looked confused and scared. "Come to the front of the class," Mr. Okonkwo said. Tunde walked slowly to the front. His legs were shaking. Mr. Okonkwo stared at him. Just stared. For a full minute. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then Mr. Okonkwo smiled. His smile was too wide. It stretched past where a normal smile should end. "You may sit down," he said. "Do not sleep in my class again." Tunde practically ran back to his seat. I saw tears in his eyes. After class, I asked Tunde what happened. He said when Mr. Okonkwo stared at him, he felt like something was crawling inside his head. Over the next few days, strange things kept happening in Mr. Okonkwo's classes. He never drank water. He never ate. He never seemed tired. One day, my friend Emeka asked him a question about SQL queries. Mr. Okonkwo answered, but his mouth didn't move properly. The words came out, but his lips were always half a second behind. Another day, a girl named Blessing tried to take a photo of the board to study later. Mr. Okonkwo's head snapped toward her. He was facing the board, but his head turned completely around. Like an owl. "I said no phones," he whispered, but we all heard it. Even though he whispered, his voice filled the entire hall. Blessing dropped her phone. The screen cracked. Amaka and I decided to do some research. We went to the library and asked the librarian, Mrs. Ogbu, about Mr. Okonkwo. "I've never seen him before this semester," she said, "and I've worked here for 20 years. I know every lecturer." We asked the admin office about him. They said his papers were all in order. He had a PhD from a university in South Africa. Everything looked legitimate. But when we asked if we could see his photo from his ID card, the secretary said the photo didn't load properly in the system. It was just a black square. "Technical issues," she said. "We're working on it." In the 3rd week, a smell started coming from Mr. Okonkwo. It was faint at first, like old meat left in the sun. But it got stronger each day. Students started sitting farther away from the front of the class. But Mr. Okonkwo didn't seem to notice, or he didn't care. One day, a student named Chisom fainted during class. She said the smell made her dizzy. Mr. Okonkwo didn't call for help. He just kept teaching. Another student had to take Chisholm to the clinic. When I asked Chisholm about it later, she said she saw something moving under Mr. Okonkwo's shirt, like something was crawling under his skin. I started staying after class to observe Mr. Okonkwo. I wanted to understand what he was. One day I pretended to look for my pen under the desk while everyone left. Mr. Okonkwo stood at the front of the class, organizing his papers. I looked at the wall behind him. The sun was coming through the window. Everyone and everything in the room cast a shadow, except Mr. Okonkwo. He had no shadow. I felt cold all over. I grabbed my bag and ran out of the class. That evening, I was walking back to my hostel when an old security guard stopped me. His name was Musa. He had worked at the university for over 30 years. "You are in Mr. Okonkwo's class," he said. It wasn't a question. I nodded. "Be careful," he said. "I have seen many lecturers come and go, but I have never seen one like him. He arrives at the same time every day. He leaves at the same time. He never enters the staff room. He never eats in the cafeteria." "What do you think he is?" I asked. Musa shook his head. "I don't know, but my grandmother used to tell me stories about things that wear human skin but are not human. Things that come to feed. Feed on what? On whatever they can get." The next week, Mr. Okonkwo announced we would have a test, a surprise test. "This test will determine your understanding of everything I have taught," he said. "Anyone who fails will have to come to my office for extra lessons." Nobody wanted to go to his office. We had all heard rumors about it. Some students said his office was always dark. Others said it was always cold, even on hot days. The test was extremely difficult. Mr. Okonkwo gave us 30 minutes to answer 20 questions. Most of us didn't finish. When we submitted our papers, Mr. Okonkwo touched each paper with his long fingers. Each time he touched a paper, a small mark appeared on it, like a burn mark. 3 days later, Mr. Okonkwo announced the results. 15 students had failed. He read out their names slowly, one by one. Amaka's name was on the list. So was mine. "Those whose names I called will come to my office tomorrow at 6 p.m., he said. "Do not be late." After class, Amaka was crying. "I don't want to go to his office," she said. "Something is very wrong with him." I didn't want to go either. But what choice did we have? If we didn't go, we might fail the course, and we couldn't afford to repeat a year. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Mr. Okonkwo's black eyes, his too wide smile, his missing shadow. The next day at 5:45 p.m., all 15 of us gathered outside the faculty building. Nobody wanted to be the first to go upstairs to Mr. Okonkwo's office. Finally, at 5:55 p.m., we climbed the stairs together. His office was on the 4th floor, at the end of a long corridor. The corridor lights were flickering. With each step, I felt colder. We reached his office at exactly 6 p.m. The door was slightly open. A strange blue light was coming from inside. "Come in," Mr. Okonkwo's voice said. But the voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. We entered the office. It was not a normal office. The walls were covered in strange symbols. The symbols seemed to move when I looked at them. The blue light was coming from a lamp on the desk, but the lamp had no bulb. The light just floated there. Mr. Okonkwo sat behind his desk. In the blue light, his skin looked transparent. I could see veins underneath, but they weren't red like normal veins. They were black. "Sit down," he said. There were no chairs. We remained standing. Mr. Okonkwo smiled his too wide smile. "You are probably wondering why you failed the test," he said. None of us answered. "It is because you have not been paying complete attention in my class," he continued. "I can sense it. I can sense when minds wander, when eyes look away, when thoughts drift." "What are you?" The words came out of my mouth before I could stop them. Mr. Okonkwo's head tilted to one side, too far to one side, at an angle that would break a normal person's neck. "What am I?" he repeated. "I am a teacher. I am here to help you learn." "You're not human," Amaka said. Her voice was shaking but brave. The smile disappeared from Mr. Okonkwo's face. The room got colder. "You are correct," he said. "I am not what you call human. I am much older than your universities, much older than your cities. In your old stories, your grandparents called my kind by different names: shapeshifters, skinwalkers. the ones who teach dangerous lessons. I came here because I was curious, Mr. Okonkwo said. Curious about how much humans have changed, whether they still respect knowledge, whether they still fear what they do not understand. What do you want from us? I asked. I want you to learn, he said. Really learn. Not just memorize for exams, not just copy notes. True understanding, deep knowledge, the kind of knowledge that changes you. And if we don't? Amika asked. Mr. Okonkwo's eyes flashed. Then I take something else, a small piece of your mind, a memory you love, a dream you treasure, nothing you will miss immediately, but over time, you will feel emptier, hollower. One of the girls, Ngozi, started crying. Please, she said, we're just students. We didn't ask for this. Neither did I ask to be forgotten, Mr. Okonkwo said. My kind were once respected, feared. Now you barely believe we exist. I will give you one chance, Mr. Okonkwo said. 1 week from today, I will give you another test, a real test. Not of facts and formulas, but of understanding, of wisdom. If you pass, I will leave this university. I will return to wherever creatures like me go when the modern world has no place for us. And if we fail, I asked, then I stay, and I continue to teach, and I continue to collect what I am owed from those who do not truly learn. How do we prepare? Amaka asked. What should we study? Study everything, Mr. Okonkwo said. Study your textbooks. Study your traditions. Study the old stories your grandparents told. Study the things that exist between what you can see and what you believe. Then come back here at 6 p.m., exactly 1 week from now. We left his office in silence. Nobody spoke until we were outside the building. For the next week, we barely slept. The 15 of us formed a study group. But we didn't just study database management. We studied everything we could find about shapeshifters and old spirits. Emika's grandmother told us about the Moadia, forest spirits that sometimes took human form to test people's character. Ngozi's uncle told us about the Igbear, spirits that carried magical pots and could grant wishes, but only to the wise. Amaka found an old book in the library about West African mythology. It mentioned creatures called Aziza, trickster spirits who sometimes posed as teachers to test whether humans were worthy of knowledge. I began to understand what Mr. Okonkwo wanted. He didn't just want us to memorize facts. He wanted us to show respect. Respect for knowledge. Respect for the old ways. Respect for things we didn't fully understand. On the 6th day, we made a plan. We arrived at Mr. Okonkwo's office at exactly 6 p.m. This time we were ready. The office looked different. The symbols on the walls were glowing brighter. The blue light was stronger. Mr. Okonkwo looked different too. His human disguise was slipping. His skin flickered between human flesh and something else. Something that looked like bark and smoke and starlight all at once. Are you ready for your test? He asked. Yes, I said. But first we want to show you something. I pulled out the old book Amaka had found. I showed him the page about the Aziza. We know what you are, I said. Or at least we know what you might be. You're one of the old ones. The spirits who used to teach humans. Who used to guide us. Mr. Okonkwo's eyes widened slightly. For the first time, he looked surprised. We want to thank you, Amaka continued. Thank you for reminding us that learning is more than just passing exams. That knowledge is sacred. That some things in this world are bigger than us. One by one, each of us spoke. We thanked him for the lessons he taught, even the frightening ones. We acknowledged that we had been careless students, that we had taken our education for granted. Mr. Okonkwo was silent for a long time. The blue light in the room slowly faded. The symbols on the wall stopped moving. When he finally spoke, his voice was softer, almost kind. You have passed, he said, not because you found the right answers, but because you asked the right questions. Not because you conquered your fear, but because you faced it with wisdom. He stood up from behind his desk. His human form was completely gone now. He looked like a man made of shadow and golden light, ancient and beautiful and terrifying. I will leave this place, he said, but remember what you learned here. Remember that knowledge without respect is empty, that the old ways still have value, that some things cannot be explained, only experienced. One by one, we bowed. It felt like the right thing to do. Mr. Okonkwo bowed back. Then he simply faded away, like smoke in the wind. We left his office. The next morning, we learned that Mr. Okonkwo had resigned. The university said he had a family emergency. They assigned us a new lecturer, a young woman named Dr. Alani. She was completely normal, human, kind. But sometimes when I'm in class and not paying attention, I feel a coldness on the back of my neck, like something is watching, reminding me. Learn with respect. Study with purpose. Some lessons are bigger than any grade. And always pay complete attention. That was 6 months ago. I graduated last month with first-class honors. So did Amaka and most of the others who were in that office. We never told anyone the full story. Who would believe us? But we still meet sometimes, the 15 of us. We call ourselves the Complete Attention Club, and we never forget what we learned from the lecturer who wasn't human. Some teachers change your life. Some teachers are human. Mr. Okonkwo was only one of those things. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories like this.